You hit snooze until the morning was already lost, and then you wrote off the whole day. Be honest. That is the move. Not always, but often enough that you know the feeling. One slip in the first hour, and some quiet voice says, well, today is ruined. Might as well start clean tomorrow. And tomorrow you go all in. You wake up early. You plan the whole system. You are going to fix everything at once. 3 days later, it is in a ditch, and you are calling yourself a failure again. You have been doing this for years. I am not saying that to shame you. I am saying it because you have completely misunderstood what discipline is, and the misunderstanding is the thing eating you alive. You think discipline is intensity, the big push, the all-in Monday, the 4 a.m. alarm, the guy who trains until he throws up. So every time you cannot sustain that, you decide you just are not a disciplined person. But that intensity is not discipline. That is a mood in a costume. It burns hot and it burns out every single time. And then you use the burnout as evidence against yourself. Real discipline is almost embarrassingly quiet. Discipline is the small, boring floor you come back to on the day you feel absolutely nothing. It is not the heroic workout. It's the 10-minute walk you take when every part of you wants to sit. It is not overhauling your diet. It is the one glass of water, the one made bed, the one page. Discipline lives at the floor, not the ceiling. And you keep abandoning it because the floor feels too small to matter, so you reach for the ceiling, miss, and fall past the floor entirely. Let me take the shame off this, because you are carrying it wrong. You are not lazy, and you were not born without some gene the disciplined men got. You were taught to chase peaks. Nobody ever sat you down and showed you the floor. Nobody said the win is not the perfect week. The win is the average day you can actually repeat. So you have spent years measuring yourself against your best day and hating yourself on every normal one. Of course you feel like you are failing. You've been grading a marathon by sprint times, and look at what the pattern actually costs you. It is not the skipped workout. It is the story the skip writes about who you are. You miss one morning, and the voice does not say you missed one morning. It says, see, you always do this. You never stick to anything. You're not built for it. That story is the real damage, because a man who believes he is not built for it stops even trying to build. The skip day is nothing. The verdict you hand yourself over the skip day is everything. And you have been signing that verdict for years over evidence that would never hold up anywhere but inside your own head. Here is the term. Consistency beats intensity, not because it is nicer, but because it compounds and intensity does not. 10 minutes you actually do every day will change your body and your mind more than the 2-hour session you do twice and quit. The man who walks every single day in the rain, tired, unmotivated, bored out of his skull, passes the man who only trains when the fire is lit. Not because he tried harder, because he lowered the bar to something a real human being can clear on his worst day, and then he cleared it, forever. And notice the mercy hidden in that. Lowering the bar is not giving up, it is the opposite. It is building a bar you will actually walk over 10,000 times instead of a bar you leap once, miss, and quit under. The small, repeatable thing is not the lazy choice. It's the only choice that survives a real life with real bad days in it, and you have plenty of those coming. So here is the one move, and it is going to feel too small. Pick one floor habit. One. Make it so small it is almost funny. Not a routine, not a system. One thing you will do today, whether you feel like it or not, and especially if you feel like it is pointless, then do it. And the next time you slip, the next time the first hour goes sideways, do not write off the day. That is the old lie. A missed hour is not a missed day, and a missed day is not a missed life. You return to the floor, you do the small thing anyway. The whole skill is refusing to let one crack take down the whole wall. You are going to feel nothing most days. Good. That is the point. Discipline was never supposed to feel like fire. It is supposed to feel like nothing, done anyway. That nothing, repeated, is how an ordinary man quietly becomes someone he respects, not on the big day, on the average one. You found a mentor, not a drill sergeant. I am not going to scream at you to go harder. I'm going to tell you to go smaller and go every day and come back to the floor the moment you fall. If this hit you, subscribe and ride with us daily. No comfort, just discipline.
Subscribe. Tomorrow, you drive stronger.